so you can share the recording later. Yeah, that's awesome. What are you loving about what have you felt that you really like about doTERRA as a company? What their morals and everything are? I think I've lost you. Gemma, can you hear her?
No, I can't hear at all or see her.
Okay.
It's not dropped out.
I can still see her, but I can't hear her.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so my earbuds went flat.
Oh.
Technology.
I was trying to use those to block out all the extra noise, but it's not going to work.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, so that's I like the fact that they go around and grow things where it's best, and it helps each and every little community where they do it instead of the rich get richer and the poor get poorer kind of thing. That would probably be my favorite thing, and the way that they have, like, the things that they do to help places, I think is just really, really awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No.
Put you on the spot enough. All right, I will, and I'm hoping my internet does play the game here. If not, I will just do it without the slideshows. But so just bear with me for a second while I share my screen. Just let me know if at any point I drop out, and I'll just stop sharing the screen. Okay. All right, you guys can see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm going to be covering today is the top 10 of the doTERRA essential oils. And just to introduce myself, because I haven't actually done that yet, Gemma. So I have got 3 kids. They are aged 3, 6, and 8. The other oldest two are about to have their birthdays as well. The youngest has had hers. And I'm also married to James. We actually do the oils together. I started them, but James has come in with the business as well. He's actually doing a men's class tomorrow night too, if that's something that is of interest. And I have done a few different bits and pieces of study around holistic lifestyle and natural therapies and things like that as well. Currently doing life coaching and meditation instructor to add into that as well. We actually converted a bus into a motorhome over the last year or so, and we are living on the road, and we homeschool or unschool our kids as well. So that's a little bit about me. And then how doTERRA has actually changed my life. Pretty much when they came into my life, I was not coping at all. I was depressed. I was having constant panic attacks all the time. James and I were nearly divorced because we just weren't communicating, we weren't coping. And yeah, life was just not real fun at all. And wasn't definitely not what it is now. So we've come through all of that with the support of the oils, and also within the business model, the personal development stuff that actually comes with that has helped us work through that. And now, without that, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing now with our bus and with the kids. We'd still be stuck in the same sort of cycles that we were stuck in. So what I'm really passionate about, and James as well, is supporting people to really support their emotional well-being and their physical well-being, but they go, they go hand in hand as a holistic type. You can't just approach one and not approach the other. And the oils actually do that sneakily anyway in the background of whatever you're actually using them for. And we also are really passionate about helping people to create financial and time freedom for themselves as well, if that's what they're looking for. So that's just a little bit about my journey and myself. So essential oils, you might be familiar with this part, but I'll touch on it anyway, in particular for the recording. So why actually use essential oils? The reason being is they're actually really safe. So they don't build up in our body. So we don't actually build up that resistance or an addiction to them like we can with other approaches. They're 100% natural and they're safe as well. So doTERRA don't add anything extra into their essential oils unless it's a diluted one where they're adding fractionated coconut oil. So that's the only thing that you'll find added. There's no, alcohols or fillers or anything like that. So they're certified pure therapeutic and very much, very potency of the oils, which is like the chemical balance of the oils, is something that doTERRA is very particular on making sure they source. So when they're sourcing their oils, they're actually looking for plants that have got that balance really well. And that comes into where they're grown and things like that make a difference there as well. So like lavender that's grown in Australia is going to be very different to the lavender that doTERRA source from, where's it from? I think it's from Bulgaria. I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. And so that's sort of more the natural climate where it comes from. So its chemical balance is actually where, within what it's meant to be. Because if one of those little components are actually out, instead of being soothing for the skin, it could actually be a skin irritant. And I've actually experienced that with my eldest. She is like allergic to everything. You can't put anything on her skin. She reacts to everything. But doTERRA essential oils actually do not react with her. And that was just absolutely mind-blowing for us when we discovered that. And that was accidental because I was using lavender from doTERRA in the bath with her in the beginning as a trial, and it worked, and she didn't react, and her eczema was healing and things like that. And then I took it away for a weekend, and James used another one that we had, which was organic and apparently 100% pure, and it just set her off like really badly. And he used it in exactly the same way. So the sourcing of the essential oils and the testing that they go through is really important. And that's where doTERRA just stands above and beyond anyone else. I'm just going to move this. So they're really effective as well. And I touched on this before with being, not building up in our body like modern approaches do. So being able to pass them through, they actually work where they need to work, even if we don't know what's needed. The action is where to put it because it works in harmony with it to create balance. And it also permeates the cell membrane. So it doesn't just work on the physical, it doesn't just work on, the nice smell, it's actually working with our cells. And something like frankincense that's in the picture can actually cross the blood-brain barrier as well. So working really deeply there. Oh, this is really annoying. Okay, so they're also really affordable. Now, this comes down to one drop goes a really long way, and they can be a lot more affordable than constantly going to the pharmacy, constantly going to the naturopath, or even the GPs and things like that. All those sorts of costs all add up, and the essential oils can just be your toolbox to do everything before the need to go there. So we haven't been to the doctor in a super long time. Phoebe, I'm just going to pop you on for a minute. If you want to unmute yourself, just feel free to jump in. Yeah, so we haven't been to the GP. We rarely ever go to the pharmacy. I think the only thing we buy from the pharmacy is our sometimes if we can't find a health food store, it's the moisturizer that we go and buy. That's about the only thing that we've had to purchase from there. And you can also make, like with something like the On Guard, you can actually make your own cleaning products and things like that as well. So you don't even have to go down that aisle in the supermarket. So saving overall, you can replace many different things with it. Now, my internet is still low. I was going to do a video, but I'm going to skip it and I'll post it. I'll post it in the event. Otherwise, it's just gonna be glitchy. So how do you actually use essential oils? Some of them you might be familiar with, and then some of them you may not be, because it depends on the essential oil that you use. So aromatic, this is where we're using them in a diffuser, so not an oil burner, because when we add heat to the oils, we will actually be destroying those therapeutic properties that are there. Okay, so we don't want to be doing that. We're using a diffuser. It's just using water and adding the oils in, and no heat. Also makes it safe for around kids. Excuse me. Aromatically also just means simply, I don't have any oils next to me anymore. I did. Yeah. So that can just be simply taking the lid off the bottle and inhaling it. Or you can apply a drop into the palm of your hands and you can inhale it that way as well. So that's a really, really fast way to be affecting our emotions as well with our aromatic use. We can also be cleansing and purifying the air in a room as well. So if you're, during environmental or seasonal high threat times of the year, it can be a really great way of addressing those sorts of things. With doTERRA's essential oils, we can also add them to our food.
Yes.
Hello. So when we're adding them to our food, we could add something like lemon, a drop into a glass of water, or you could add it to something like mineral water or soda water as a soft drink replacement. You can add it into your cooking and different things like that too. So there's so many different ways that we can use them and benefit from them in that regard. This one, the benefits of using it in this way, I can't fully dive into because of our TGA guidelines in Australia, but we can certainly, privately dive into this a little bit deeper as well. But there's so many different uses and benefits to using it that way. And then the last one, and this again is a really important one to make sure you're using really great quality essential oils such as doTERRA for using them on our skin, because obviously anything that goes on our skin it's our largest organ, so it's really going to impact our health. And if that's something that has got different chemicals and different fillers in it, then that's something we're not going to be wanting to use on our skin, or certainly not in our food. So the food one is really important, but so is our topical one. And to be honest, so is our aromatic use, because even inhaling chemicals isn't good for our health either. So this is a really important part of using pure essential oils, is the actual health benefits to it. So topically just means applying to our skin. So generally we're applying diluted with a carrier oil such as doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil, and that allows it to actually have extra benefits to the skin, but it also helps to reduce sensitivity, and it helps to actually drive it into the skin further as well. If you want it a really localized, like an insect bite or something like that, then something like lavender or tea tree is very gentle on the skin, so you can actually use that neat as well. It's just being aware of what people's skin are like. Is it going to change? There we go. So I just want to touch on some other ways that we actually use them as well. So James and I are really big on using the oils, as I mentioned, like actually holistically. So this means physical, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and energetically as well. So the oils can heal in all of those aspects. This might not be a part that you're interested in learning about, but I'm just going to touch on that, the fact that we actually use them in these ways as well. So we use them with crystals and other energetic sort of tools. We use them for chakra healings and meditation and massage and all sorts of different healing work and stuff like that as well. So the doTERRA oils on a vibrational energetic level are absolutely so much above anything else that I have used before. Okay, so touching on our top 10 essential oils. So peppermint is the oil of a buoyant heart emotionally. So it's really, you know, when you're feeling quite down in the dumps type thing, it can be something to just quickly bring that feeling up for you. It is also really clarifying for the mind, and it's also a great one for simmering down any heated sort of emotions and feelings as well. On more of the physical level, it's great for opening up the airways. Actually, peppermint is TGA approved, so it's great for using for headaches. It is incredible for soothing tummy upsets and things like that as well. I'm trying to remember what else I'm allowed to say there. I think that's like the main ones for that, but we love using them in diffuser blends for uplifting the mood. Were you wanting to say something, Phoebe? No? Okay, sorry. I wasn't sure if I saw a hand or anything. Yeah, so you can add it to some water like you can with the lemon, maybe adding them in together. And it's a great one to use when you need a pick-me-up of some sort. So you could pop a drop in your hand and use with maybe some wild orange or frankincense, or even on its own. Great one to have like a study blend or a homework blend for the kids, with something like maybe basil or rosemary, which are great for memory retention. And then maybe lemon or wild orange or something like that for focus as well. And then the peppermint's there for clarity and alertness. So there's some ways of using them, but James likes to do a drop of that under the tongue as well, as like a burst of wake me up type thing. That's what he likes to use it for as well. Peppermint for me is too strong to do that. I prefer to use the little beadlets. It's a bit of a smaller amount too. So next one is lemon. So lemon is our oil of focus when it comes to an emotional sort of use. So focus it's the mental focus. So when you're really needing to just be present with what you're doing and really sharp focused on actually achieving something. So great one to add with that peppermint, like I mentioned before, particularly for study or work, or anything else where you really need those sorts of needs. Lemon is also a great one to use in your cleaning products or as an air freshener or something like that. So you might want to use that. Being in our bus, we actually, we have less room than in a house. That's probably all we would use in a house anyway. But we have just one spray bottle, and the spray bottle, we change the oils that we use in it quite a lot. But that one spray bottle, we will use as the air freshener in the bathroom. We use it as a surface cleaner. Sometimes I use it like when your hair's gone all crazy and you don't want to have a shower to wet it and do it, and you just want to wet it with a spray bottle, or the kids if they've got knots. So I just use it for that purpose as well. If the dog's done or the toddler has had an accident on the floor, we use that in the cleanup of that sort of thing. So that one bottle actually does everything, and we just change the oils in that depending on what we're feeling like. Or if we're needing to address something like mold, then we'll have something like tea tree and oregano and On Guard in there, rather than something like lemon, but it still gets used for all those same things. So really versatile way of having your cleaning products as well. So lemon's really cleansing for surfaces, which makes it really great for those purposes. Cleansing for the air as well when we're using it in the diffuser. What else have I got there? That's, oops, I went too far. So lemon is also a great one just for uplifting the mood. So if you're, you know, not feeling quite so motivated or something like that, then you could pop lemon into the diffuser or just have a smell from the palm of your hand or from the bottle. Lemon is, being a citrus oil, it is what's called phototoxic, which just means it makes your skin more susceptible to the sun. So if you're going to be out in the sun, you know, more than just hanging out a load of washing or something like that, then it's not really one to apply, say, on the back of the hands or on the arms if you're, you know, not wearing a long sleeve shirt or something like that. So if you're going to be in the sun and you're applying this one topically, just apply it underneath the clothing. Lavender. So lavender, I've touched on lavender already with my daughter with the differences, but lavender was something I never, ever, ever liked the smell of in anything. It just reminded me of like those yucky toilet sprays and things like that. That's just what lavender always came to mind for me. But doTERRA's lavender doesn't smell anything like that. It's actually a really nice smell, which really surprised me in the beginning. Now, emotionally, it's the oil of communication. So when we're not feeling heard or we're not able to communicate our needs or our truths, lavender's a really great one to pull in for that. So you can apply it over the throat. On a physical level, it's really soothing for the skin. It's relaxing. So it's something that you'll often hear about for sleep and things like that. But the actual power of doTERRA's essential oil compared to others that I've tried is pretty phenomenal there. And like Phoebe mentioned before, she's used it for teething along the jawlines and then subsequently has helped with the tear ducts for, it's Alana, isn't it? I've got the name right. Phoebe? I'm pretty sure that's the right name. I'm not getting a yes or a no. Yeah, it's a great one to combine with something like frankincense at nighttime in the diffuser. They're really great to add together to really wind down and have a restful night's sleep. You can also make like a little spritzer spray and spray on the pillows or on the sheets. Also, it is one that can be used in your cooking as well. So if you want to use lavender in your cooking, like for tarts or things like that, personally, I haven't actually gone down that road with lavender yet, but that's just me. And this one I mentioned before is quite gentle on the skin, so you can dilute it, but if you need a really quick effect on something like a skin insect bite or something like that, then you can use that one neat as well. Oregano. So oregano is emotionally the oil of humility and non-attachment. So if you're having unhealthy attachments to you know, certain things, whether that's people or you know, material things, or potentially like a situation or something like that, then this one really helps to let go of that and to be able to move on. It's quite a protective oil as well, both emotionally and physically. So I like to call oregano a bit like tea tree on steroids. So all those beautiful benefits that tea tree have, oregano is amplified in that regard. I also love to add this one like a drop, and you only need one drop. It's very, very, very strong and very potent. So one drop is all you need in a diffuser blend, a topical blend, or in your cooking. One drop in like spaghetti sauce or a pizza sauce or something like that in our food. We can also, I like to boost our defense blend with oregano too when seasonal threats are really high. That's what I like to add into that one. And that's actually one that I add into our mold spray that I mentioned we might do before too. Digest Zen combines, this is a blend, so it combines a few different oils that are really supportive for our digestive health and balance. So it's one that will balance out no matter what way the digestive is needing. So whether it's too fast or too slow, or you've eaten something that's just not, sitting well with you, it's a really great one to use for that. You can also have this one diffusing in the car, or potentially just apply topically before going on, a flight or a, what's it called? A boat. That's the word I'm looking for. To really just help to, trying to be compliant, just keep things nice and calm for if those sorts of things affect you, or for kids as well. What else have I got there? Actually, Digest-N is quite nice to add to raw chocolate or bliss balls as well. It sounds really surprising, but it actually goes really nicely with cacao as well. So you can add that one into your food as well. We always like to have a roller bottle of this one made up, because anytime that the need for that comes up, we've got it there ready to use on the kids in particular. I find after I've eaten something like, sorry, my voice is going all funny. Something like pork, roast pork or lamb that's really fatty, and it really seems to just not sit right. I'll often put Digest-N on after that, and it just really helps to calm things down. Easy Air. So Easy Air is another blend, and this one is for our breathing, essentially. So it helps to, on an emotional level, actually brings us into a place where we allow ourselves to breathe. Because how often do we feel constricted in our chest because we're just holding everything and really constricted? So this one can really help just to open that up and allow that breath to flow, to be able to calm down our system. And also does the same sort of thing on the physical level as well, being able to open up those airways and just allow the ease of breath. And this is what's in the vapor stick that Phoebe mentioned before. So it's a great one to apply to the chest, to the back, to the bottoms of the feet, or to put in the diffuser as well. I like to put what's called lavender with this one in the diffuser at nighttime. It just really helps everyone to have an even deeper night's sleep. And if there's any sort of breathing issues that need to be supported, that's supported in that way as well. But even if there's not, it's a beautiful one for bringing in that really restful night's sleep. And anytime your seasonal threats or your environmental threats are high, really great one to be bringing into the diffuser or to a topical blend. Right, what else have I got there? I think that's pretty much covered that one. So Ice Blue, on an emotional level, is the oil of surrendering pain. So we probably all know people that just hold on to pain and don't quite let it go. They might not admit that that's the case, but we know, I'm sure we all know people that hold that and stay in that space of pain. So Ice Blue is one that really helps us just to release that and let that go and be able to move past it to allow the healing. So that's sort of how it works. So the emotion side is a whole different class that we can dive deeper into it. But I just like touching on this because people don't realize how much emotional blocks or things that we've suppressed actually come out in our physical body. So our physical stuff is actually our body going, hey, you need to address this. So something like Ice Blue is a really great one for helping where we're experiencing pain, but also just holding on to that. So it really helps just to release it. And that's why I like touching on them as well, just to give that little deeper understanding of how the oils work. because there's so much more than just your physical or just being able to make cleaning products with it. There's so much more to them. Okay, so on the physical level, this oil blend it's relaxing, it is soothing, and it's a great one for supporting when we're exercising or working quite physically as well. So if you are doing some sort of exercise, applying it before and then after really helps just to keep the flow through our body and to reduce that, you know, if you've done a leg workout of some sort and you can't move 2 days later, even to, you know, maybe sit down or something like that. So this can actually really help to move that through, particularly if it's combined with massage. Ice Blue is a great oil for the men as well, because often they're working physically or they're holding all their emotional baggage that they don't let out in their shoulders and upper back is quite often where the men hold that. We do too, but the men get really tight and constricted there. So it's a great one to apply there. And if you have a partner who isn't open to the oils or think it's rubbish or you know, whatever, yeah. And I hear that all the time. I was very lucky that James was open to them in the beginning, so I haven't had to go through that myself, but even he didn't fully understand how much they actually worked. But Ice Blue is one that he has used consistently, and it's one that we find the men go, hey, hang on a minute, these things actually work. Because we could even just, you know, I'm just going to rub something on your back for that pain, and they'll smell it and think it's maybe deep heat or something like that because it smells so similar. It's not this new hippie out there type thing for them, because it's something that they're already familiar with. Yeah. I personally am a bit of a hippie, so I probably come across like that sometimes too. But when we're coming right back down into the basics, this one for the men, just working on that, the pain from working hard through the day. James used to use it on his elbow. He was a bricklayer and he would get essentially tennis elbow. A lot of it was actually emotional. Get his emotion stuff around work got trapped there, and around you know, supporting family and things like that. But he would have this as the rub, because this actually comes in a rub as well, in a tube, and he would have that in his esky at work so that he could actually move his arm, because he'd come home and not be able to even pick up a pen or something like that because he couldn't move his hand from that pain extending down. So it's pretty powerful how much that actually worked for him. And then to surrender that pain later on as well, when he stopped that physical work and realized that it wasn't just the physical work that was causing it as well. For our little ones at nighttime with growing legs and being possibly getting pains associated with that as well, applying that to the legs at nighttime, or even if you get a bit of that, you know, that restless leg type thing, a great one to pop on there. Ice Blue Rub was the only oil product that I got to use in my third labour, because she came too fast to use anything else. But the back pain, with my first two, I got really bad back pain. With number two, I was lucky enough to have a water birth with him, so that actually stopped the back pain there. But once the back pain started coming in for me with number three, James rubbed this onto my back and it just totally relieved that pain. It was amazing. So it's pretty powerful to get through that sort of pain too. Hi Lucky. Okay, what else have I got there? I think that one's covered. If you're working at computers, it's one great one to pop onto, just rub onto the shoulders or onto the wrist and fingers if you're doing a lot of typing as well, just to help release that sort of tension that builds up there. Tea tree is a very versatile oil, but on our emotional side, it's the oil of energetic boundaries. So if you are around people that just have you know, energetically throw out negativity or just bad vibes, or even you know, protecting from psychic attacks and things like that too. This is a really beautiful one to put on, particularly on the third eye, or those people that just drain your energy away when you're around them. They just, you walk away from them and you just feel like, oh my God, I feel so empty and depleted. This is a beautiful oil to apply in that instance. On a physical level, so many different uses. It's incredibly cleansing, and it's, you know, great for using on the feet. It's great for using on the face, so particularly teenage skin, popping it into cleansers or shaving aftershave stuff. And another one that we actually add in for, we add it into a few different things. Our mold spray is one that we add it to. We also add this one to our defense oil blend with the oregano. We also pop On Guard and Manuka and frankincense into that blend as well. And that's our go-to when we've caught something and can't kick it. Thankfully, touch wood, we haven't caught anything for quite a while, so haven't had to pull that one out. But that is that one when we just need that to knock something over and we can't kick it. Type 1 there. Yeah, you can also add it to your diffuser for those sorts of things as well. On Guard, you've heard me mention it a couple of times. It's another blend. It's our oil of protection, and that comes in physically and emotionally. So as a little bit similar to tea tree, except for it's more of a protection energetically rather than just putting up those walls to block it out. So we've used this one. Amira used to have night terrors, and we just felt it was just, but there was bad vibes in her room every time she had it. We started diffusing On Guard in her room. And is that Lockie under there? So we started to diffuse that one in her room, and we actually used a few different crystals and things in her room as well, and it actually stopped. She stopped having the night terrors. So that was you know, one of those aha moments for us where it was like, okay, this is more than just the physical, because it worked so incredibly well. It's a protection from environmental threats of all kinds. So whether that's spiritual, energetically, or seasonal threats as well. So again, those bad vibes that people put out, the germs and all those sorts of things. Okay, this is going to help protect against anything like that in the environment as well. And then we can put that on the physical body. So when I do something like a massage or a physical healing, On Guard is one of the oils that I actually put on to protect myself from getting totally bombarded by all that, the negative energy that we're actually removing for people when we're doing those sorts of healings, and feel totally different when I use that as opposed to not using that. Totally draining and exhausting when I don't. It is also really uplifting. So when we actually use that in a diffuser, it's going to really help to uplift our mood or anyone else that's in the room as well. And then our cleaning. So I did mention that before for our cleaning, but it also comes in the laundry liquid and the toothpaste and the cleaning concentrate as well. Excuse me. And then we can use it in things like our air fresheners or multi-purpose cleaning sprays. And if we're needing a bit of soapiness to that, that's when I add in a little bit of extra with the cleaning concentrate. Oh, I'm going to sneeze again. I need some easy air. So we can use this one in the 3 ways. we can use it in our food, we can use it in a diffuser, and then we can use it on our skin too. When we use it on our skin, because it's got the cinnamon and the clove in there, we make sure we use it quite diluted. So an example of that, normally in a 10 ml roller bottle, we would use about 5 to 6 drops on for the average blend of oils in total to the carrier oil. If, you know, we can change that depending on the needs, and that's individualized. What we would do with the On Guard, we would only use probably, if it was just the On Guard we were doing, we'd probably use only 3 drops rather than the 5 to 6, just because it's got those few oils that are higher at irritating the skin because they're hot oils. Frankincense. Frankincense is one of those oils that I can't be without because it does so many different things. Being attacked there, Phoebe. So on an emotional level, frankincense is the oil of truth. So this is one that will help support us to be comfortable living in our truth and our authenticity, rather than our expectations of what other people or society expect. It is also one that will help us stand in our truth. So if we're wanting to communicate our truth, combining frankincense with lavender, which is the oil of communication, is going to really help us actually speak what is true for us, rather than holding it back, which when holding it back affects us emotionally and therefore then physically. Frankincense and lavender combined is just going to let us actually speak that. If you, excuse me, are actually trying to reconnect with your truth as well, maybe you've, you know, gotten lost with different opinions and different things like that, frankincense can help us come into that space. It's also one that will help us connect with Father energies. So whether that's the physical father figure in person and the bond there, it can help to heal those. And also with, you know, your universal energy source, divinity, God, whatever you want to call it, that is considered the male energy as well, father energy. So that's another way of communicating. Great one to pop onto the crown chakra as well. On your physical level, physically it is relaxing, it is emotionally grounding, and also beautifully healing. So it's great for the skin. This is the one that I mentioned before, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and also one that is going to really permeate into the cells. So it helps to work on a cellular level all over our body. So this one, getting it on us as much and as often as we can, is incredible for our overall well-being. Speaking about that one compliantly, we use this one in all 3 ways. So the diffusion, the food. Now, when I say food, we don't so much actually add it to our food, but we can ingest it, is the best way I can describe that compliantly. And then we use it topically as well, so on our skin. It's a great one to add to aromatic dressings, which is just one method of applying it to the skin, which is basically, it becomes a bit of a ritual, but we apply it in a blend or by itself in some coconut oil in a little dish like this one, like a little ceramic or glass or wooden dish. And we start at our feet, working up with circular motions and working all the way up to our body, to our head, sorry. And when we do the circular motions, that's actually helping to stimulate our lymphatic system and our circulation and all those sorts of things, getting everything just moving in the body, because when it's stagnant, it sits still and it's not meant to sit still. So helping things to move through our body. And we could also combine that with something like positive affirmations and different things like that as well. Or you can simply use it as a way of applying our oils ritualistically as well, morning and night. And that's it for the top 10 oils. Excuse me for a minute while I grab my water bottle. Oh. A bit awkward when you do it on the bed. It's the only place I can be quiet though. Now, are there any questions at all at the moment? Or anything anyone wants to add? Okay. This is the book here that talks about the emotion things too. So it's called Emotions and Essential Oils. I don't actually know who wrote it. It doesn't have the author. It's probably from several different people, but you can get that from Aroma Tools or a few different other places as well. There's actually a newer version than that now too, so it'll be a different color. But we actually refer to this book more than we do the one that is about the physical ailments and different things like that. We actually give you the properties of the oils. We most often, as a family, refer to this one more than anything else. Okay, so I'll go back one. So your health concerns, actually, Gemma, and Phoebe, if you want to as well. If you guys want to unmute yourselves, or I can actually do that for you if you want. No, I can't, because you've unmuted yourself. So if you want to unmute yourself, and just want to ask your top 3 health concerns or priorities.
Didn't hear any of that.
No, neither did I.
Sorry, missed it.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
Didn't hear anything that you said.
Didn't hear what she said then.
I think she said she missed everything you said.
Okay, where did you last hear from? Can you still hear me?
For a second, please.
Am I cutting out or you've just got noise?
No, you dropped out. I didn't hear what you were saying about listing something.
Your top 3 health concerns.
You said if you want to unmute.
Yeah.
Oh, Lockie, please, mate.
Gemma, what would be your 3 health priorities or concerns? That would be your biggest things to change.
Probably just like the chemicals we use to clean.
Yeah.
I'd probably would like to do a bit more for my daughter Mia, because she keeps having nightmares and wakes me up, and I spend half the night up anyway with my 2-year-old, so I'd like to get some more sleep.
Yeah.
Definitely for emotions in this house.
Yeah.
And it's probably about it, really.
Yeah. Okay. Phoebe, is there anything that you want to mention, or you're pretty on top of things, or?
I think I'm probably okay. I don't know. Like, I know that these oils for us as a family have been amazing. If it wasn't for these oils, I probably would not have a husband, and he would still be in major depression. So these oils are pretty darn good.
Yes, they are. They are. To touch on the nightmares and the not sleeping, do you know what could potentially be caused for her?
You dropped out there for a second.
Do you know what might be causing the nightmares or health?
She's just got a really vivid vivid mind, I think. So if she sees like a crocodile, she'll have a dream about a crocodile chasing her and it's going to eat her, and yeah, she's just like that sort of.
Yeah.
She's just, I don't think she rests very much like that.
Okay. So potentially something that's going to help switch off that mind a little bit more, like say the frankincense, and there may be lavender combined with that. But another beautiful for you know, nightmares and different things like that as well.
I found with Ella juniper berry, when her darling big sister decided she'd do this talking to any Tom, Dick and Harry, she thought she'd let them know where she lived and stuff, and Ella got scared about that and was having some pretty good nightmares, and I put juniper berry in her sleep one and that stopped it. So that was really good.
Yeah.
But she hates lavender, so her sleep one, I can't even remember what is in her sleep one. But yeah, so I just added juniper. Ella, what's in your sleep blend? She can't tell me either.
Need to put your stickers on.
Well, I think that's what she's doing.
Yeah, like when it comes to sleep, there's so many of the oils are really great for switching off and winding down. So sometimes it's a matter of finding which ones work for triggers.
And water.
But they generally are those ones. Oh, just gone again.
Me?
Yeah, did Ella say the blend?
Wild orange. What else was there, Ella? Peace and juniper berry is what she has in her sleep.
Yeah, okay. So wild orange is a great one to add to sleep blends. Some people will be heightened by it though. So that's one of those ones that can go one way or the other. But it's great for actually relaxing the and calming the nervous system. So that's where it's great for sleep. When combined with those other, you know, sort of sleep specific oils, it works in that way. So when we use blends, that's where we can really hone in on specific needs. The single oils are good for that, but they'll have a bit more of a, because they're versatile, it'll have a bit more of that versatile effect. Whereas when you blend for certain specific intentions, they hone in on that. So that's one reason why we blend. And then is there anything specific for the emotions that you need, Gemma? Anything?
I don't know really.
Balance is pretty awesome.
What's that?
Balance. I've got one that has nightmares and the other one doesn't want to go to sleep because she's worried that the fan's going to chop her in half and the air conditioning's going to get her. And she's another Gemma, Phoebe, so just stop laughing. So she's next level, so she just won't go to sleep. She cries, I can't sleep. Oh my God.
Okay, so again, something that's going to switch off that mind, but perhaps something like peace, that's actually in Ella's blend, which is a reassurance blend. So it's actually making them feel safe. It helps them to feel safe. Or something like console, which is another blend in the emotional aromatherapy oils. Console's like a great big warm hug in a bottle. So, you know, perhaps something like that might do it. In your basic ones, again, I would go your frankincense and your lavender.
Yeah.
But in the others, either peace or console would probably be a suggestion there.
Alrighty.
All right, so so this is nearly done. So with the oils, so Phoebe, wait, did you want for a reason before I go on?
Sorry?
You unmuted yourself again. I just wondered if you had something to say.
Oh, I was just going to say that the sleep blend for the boys is lavender, peace, cedarwood, and juniper berry, I think, is in the boys one.
Yeah.
And that seems to work for all the boys, and Alana too, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, cedarwood's another one of those ones that helps switch off the active mind. Yeah. So within the doTERRA range and for health support, it's not just the oils. They're obviously the biggest part and a big focus, and they're so versatile that they work in so many different aspects, but there's other things as well, like different products. I touched on some of the cleaning products and the ice blue rub. There is also skincare and different things like that as well in the product range, which are all amazing. And all plant-based and, you know, no nasty chemicals in there, which for me is huge, because we are like, I think I can probably say 100% chemical free now. There used to be a couple little things, but there's not anymore. So that, yeah, being totally natural in those things was really important. The other part is the supplements. doTERRA Australia only have the Lifelong Vitality. We have got the Copaiba, or I can't actually pronounce that one properly, it doesn't come off my tongue, in capsules, and our DDR Prime is in capsules as well. And I won't dive into them, but they are actually all TGA approved, so you can go in and actually see their actual health benefits of them as well. The Lifelong Vitality pack, which is this picture here, is also TGA approved and made in Australia. It's basically a whole food nutrient complex that addresses the gaps in our diet. So wherever our diet isn't filling its needs for our body, then these will actually fill in those gaps. So the VMZ, which is the one in the middle, is our basically our multivitamin minerals one. So it has 22 essential minerals and vitamins in it. And what that means is the essential means our body can't actually produce it on its own. So these are, if we're not getting it in our diet, then our body can't actually make the different things that we need. So potassium is an example of that. Our daily potassium needs is equivalent to 14 bananas. So I don't think anyone can physically eat that much bananas. And our food is also quite depleted of its nutritional value as well, compared to what it used to be, because our soils, you know, our farming hasn't really been done in a sustainable way to sustain those nutrients in the soils. And then you've got your chemicals and different things that are added onto that as well, and have been a part of that depletion of the soil. So our foods are actually not, even if we have a great organic whole food diet, we're still likely missing bits and pieces there, because our foods just don't contain what they used to. So being able to fill in the gaps with a whole food supplement that's bioavailable to our body. So bioavailable means our body is actually going to absorb it and use it, and not just, for example, when you take vitamins normally, they'll make your wee go fluoro yellow. And that's basically because your body's not absorbing it. You're just, you know, flushing it down the toilet, essentially. So that money that you're spending on them, you're flushing down the drain. So being able to actually give your body something it's going to use. The food nutrient complex also supports our immune system and our digestive system as well. Then we've got our alpha CRS. I don't have my notes in front of me for this, so I'm going off the top of my head and I'm hoping I remember it all. Alpha CRS is our cellular vitality complex. So it actually supports our cellular health. It helps our cells go through a healthy life cycle. So right from the beginning to the end. So if we have cells that aren't going through a healthy life cycle, and stay there damaged or damaged, then that can actually lead to some very severe health concerns. Okay, you might be able to fill the gaps there, but it is one thing I can't actually label. So fill in the gaps. It also helps to support our cells from free radical damage as well. and gives our cells energy. So like having a caffeine hit without the caffeine is basically what that one does for our cells. And then the Exio Omega is our omega complex. So this is providing our body with the essential fatty acids that it needs for healthy bones, for healthy brain function, and what else? I'm sure there's another one I'm forgetting there. But basically, the brain one is huge. So if we're not getting omegas into our diet, which it's actually something that people are really lacking in, we will have things like the brain fog and the mental fog. So this really helps to fill in those gaps when that's needed. An example, statistics, I'm hoping I'm remembering these right. When we are 20, we have 70% of our omega fatty acids that we need in our brain. At 70, that's right down to 20%. And that's just with the average diet that doesn't actually replace these properly. So that's where a lot of the brain degeneration actually comes from, is not providing our brain and our body with these things that it can't make itself when it's not coming into our diet. And because our diets are quite, often quite highly processed, and also with that soil depletion of our fruit and veg, it has a really big impact on our long-term health and vitality. So that's why these are called the lifelong vitality supplements, because it's helping our body be high in vitality and feel that for as long as possible, rather than feeling like we're getting old and achy and our brain's just not as clear as it should be and not functioning the way it should. So these can help support that long term. Again, this is a video I was going to talk on, show, but I'll talk on it instead. So Phoebe touched on this in the beginning of what makes doTERRA really special. And that is the way that they actually source their oils and the way they give back to communities. So doTERRA's really, really big on things being pure, but also sourcing from places where they can make the biggest difference in the community. So they will actually, when they go in and they find a plant that's going to give them that best quality essential oil, they'll actually go and talk to the communities as well and find out what they need. So I can't remember which oil it was from now, but there's one oil when they went and sourced from a third world country. They went and asked, I think it was more like a tribe rather than a town, what they needed the most. And what they needed the most was schools to educate their boys. Okay, so that's what the tribal leaders and elders have said to them. doTERRA have said, okay, we would love to do that, but we want to educate your girls as well, or we won't do it. So basically, they have also helped create that more equal opportunity for women in these countries where they don't normally have that opportunity. So now within that village, they have got schools and they can educate all the children within that village so that they can have better quality of life later on as well. They also help to build hospitals and bring water sources to communities instead of them having to go down to their water sources that are either contaminated or they might have crocodiles in there or something like that. I know one of the trips that the Healing Hands trips that one of my uplines went to, the day before they got there, one of the little girls, I think she might have been 10 or 12 or something, she had actually had half her arm bitten off by a crocodile the day before trying to get water. So that's the sort of living conditions people are living in, and doTERRA are actually improving it. So that particular village was where they were bringing water to the village. So I can't actually wait to be a part of those sorts of trips, but have to get to Diamond to do that. So yeah, that's all the sort of things that doTERRA do. And when they're sourcing their oils, it's not just about the oil, it's about the greater community and the benefits that they can give there as well. So the video I was going to show is on Copaiba, so you can actually go to YouTube and find that too, because if I play it, I've got 2 bars of reception, so if I replay it, it'll just be too much, and it'll just be glitchy anyway. So how you can actually purchase your oils now, Gemma, you may be a little bit familiar with this, but again, there's obviously a difference between Young Living and the way doTERRA works, so I'll go through this anyway. So the 3 ways are retail. So that's where you pay just the full price and you buy, you know, 1 or 2 oils, whatever it is you feel you want. The second way is with wholesale, which is going to give you the best price. It's also going to give you access to ongoing education and support as well. So we do what's called a lifestyle overview. So where we look at where you're at now with certain things and where you want to be with them, and we help you address how you can get there with what you've got, or potentially adding in a few more things or something like that, whatever is going to be needed for those particular needs and goals. With number 3, that is our rewards program. So that's your wholesale membership with the rewards program. Now that is optional, and it is fully within your control. So you can opt in or opt out of that at any point. To opt out, you do just give doTERRA a call or jump on the live chat online, just so people don't accidentally delete that and then lose the points that they've got there too. So with the points, that's actually basically product credit. So every time you place an order each month, you get your shipping cost back in product credit points. And you also get, if you've done 50 point value or more, or product value or more, you'll start to get your percentage back in points as well. So that's how that system works. You don't have to do 50 PV or more. You can choose to do, as long as it's 1 PV or more for a certain month, that'll actually keep that rolling over for you and keep your points that you've accumulated already there. But like I said, that one is optional. It is the best way to do it if you're supporting a wellness lifestyle with the oils and other products, because you're getting free stuff. So this month, I think this month I've got frankincense for free. What else did I get? I got my washing liquid free. I think I did ginger, and there might have been 1 or 2 other things as well as what I've got free on my order this month with my points. So it accumulates and it really does add up, but it's optional. But your wholesale membership still comes with the discount and also the support. So we actually have an ongoing support system that we have. So the first one is like 10 days of supporting with the top 10 oils and actually implementing them into your home, and different ways of using them and different recipe ideas. And then the second one is a wellness lifestyle. So looking at it, looking at the supplements and the wellness pyramid. So that covers eating right, trying to remember this off the top of my head, exercise, rest and stress management, reducing toxic load, self-care, and proactive medical care. I think I may be missing one in there. But that supports all those sorts of areas as well. And then the third one is emotional, an emotions one. So looking at the emotional standpoint of it all as well, plus our ongoing personal support as well. So some of the kits that you can opt in to purchase a wholesale account, we've got kits, or you've got a one-off $35 membership fee that opens the account for you to give you access to the wholesale prices and the support, and you could choose to add on a couple of oils with that as well. Otherwise, we've got the kits which waive that $35 membership fee, so they're included in there. So Family Essentials is a 5 ml bottles of the top 10 oils we've just covered. It also has a 15 ml Smart and Sassy in there as well, which is like our metabolism support, helping with sugar cravings and different things like that is that particular blend. That one at the wholesale price, so at the enrollment kit price with the membership, is $174. Phoebe, have you seen July's promotions yet?
No.
I haven't yet either. I don't know if they've come out, but there might be something free this month. I'll see if I can quickly find that while I'm talking. Actually, I'll post it in the group if there is in the event. The next one is the Home Essentials kit. So this is 15 ml bottles of the top 10 oils, except for the ice blue. That one's 5 ml because that's the only size it comes in. And then it has a diffuser with that one as well. And that one is $330, including your membership. And this one, this is what you started with, isn't it, Phoebe? Phoebe's out of picture. So this is our nature's kit, but this is the one you started with.
It was about, what was it, nearly 700?
Yeah,
600 and something dollars, was it?
Yeah. So this one is basically a home conversion kit as such. So it's got bits and pieces in there to not only address those top 10 oils and needs, but on a deeper level as well. So we've got emotional support, more emotional support in there. We've got the women's monthly blend in there, past tense, which is great for head tension and stress. Your hand soap, your toothpaste, that ice blue rub comes with the diffuser, a storage box, and yeah, like there's lots of oils there. This is the list of oils here as opposed to just the top 10. It's actually the only way in Australia we can get the box from doTERRA as well. Otherwise you're going to order from the US, and that one is $635. It comes with additional comes with 100 points, product credits straight up, and also starts you on a 15% points back on the rewards program as well, as opposed to 10%. Then we've got some very specific boxes as well, our wellness boxes. These are relatively new in the enrollment kits. This one here is a sleep addressing one. So this is going to help with sleep. It's also going to help with relaxation and calming emotions and things like that as well. And that one's $172. And then we've got our seasonal essentials. So this is basically, you know, your winter wellness go-to kit is this one. It covers all those sorts of needs, and that one's $185. Then we've got our active sports kit. So this one is anyone who's working really hard. It's a great one for the men. It's great for anyone who does a fair bit of exercise as well, or has, you know, those aches and pains. And then within that, you've got, you know, the oils can still be used for other things as well, but this is just like what these are addressed at. That one is $194. These are all including that membership as well, the wholesale membership. And then you've got a gourmet cooking wellness box. This one comes with recipe cards as well, and then different oils that you can use throughout your cooking for $184. And then I think this is the last one, the emotional aromatherapy kit. So this one is very, very specific emotional support. So you've got passion, which is like our inspiring blend. It's also a great one for relationship passion and things like that as well. You've got motivate, which is like an invigorating kick up the bum type blend. You got cheer, which is uplifting for mood and emotions. You've got forgive, which is beautiful for the heart, forgiving oneself or forgiving others or forgiving a situation. Did I just get lost for a moment then? No? Okay, you guys all froze, so I wasn't sure. Peace is our reassuring blend, or quite a calming, great one for anxious and overwhelm and things like that. And then we've got Console. Console is that warm hug in a bottle that I mentioned before. Anyone experiencing really deep grief as well. And that blend, that comes with a diffuser. I don't think it's in my picture. It's not in my picture, but that one comes with the diffuser as well. And that one's 310. And that's it of those kits. And that was another video that I was going to show. And that one actually shows, I think, doTERRA working with Days for Girls. So they are working with Days for Girls, which is all about educating and supporting young women to understand their menstruation cycle in countries where they are shamed for it, and made to go into cow sheds and things like that for the week. So it's actually quite a sad video to watch, so I definitely won't play it while there's kids in the background. But yeah, so they really aren't treated with any sort of dignity when it comes to menstruating and things like that. So doTERRA partnered with Days for Girls to support and educate those sorts of things, and they actually have packs with like reusable pads and things like that that they're providing as part of those programs as well, so that the girls have got something clean to you know, look after themselves properly with. And to finish off, and this is the part that I'm really passionate about, and this is building a life of abundance and freedom by doing something that you're passionate about and doing something in a way that works for you. So, you know, there's guidelines and ideas on how to build your business with doTERRA, but it's really about what works for you as well. And that's like for me, the biggest thing that I love about it. So we're implementing it with different things, but you can just focus on just the oils and sharing the oils and things like that too. So the potential with creating a business with doTERRA is pretty exciting. And if that's something that interests you, then we can chat about that as well. A little quote to leave you with after that, if I can move my picture out of the way. So the future belongs to those who who believe in their dreams. So it's pretty easy to forget what your dreams and your passions are, because we're not conditioned. We're not taught to be allowed to have these dreams and desires. It's just, you know, one way to be successful or to make your way through life. So I'm really big on helping people realize that you can do whatever the hell you actually desire to do and create the life that you want. So what's next? Basically, this is my contact details here. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook too, we are the Wholesome Wanderers. That covers oils, it covers holistic wellness, and it covers our travels. But normally you'd hear from me, but today it will be from Phoebe. And I want to thank you for joining me. And I'm going to stop my share. That stopped now, hey. It's gone away. I'm going to stop the recording as well.